it have man out there who marrying man, and the system working against the almighty plan. Well, listen, brothers and sisters, why they harassing these straight fellas? Oh my gosh, they have the place in a mess. But the macho men say it's time to protest. This one-sided society is what destroying our country. What they pressuring we so far, they should legislate this law. Stop the confusion, man have to marry more than one woman. We want more wives, we need more wives, we want more wives, so we could end this economic strife. We want more wives, we need more wives, we want more wives, so children from different mothers could live nice. Let me be straight and very frank. Wife one handling issues by the bank. If number 2 is unavailable, number 3 have to put food on the table, just in case she feeling sick and she cannot do it. No problem. Number 4 gonna give it to us for sure. We want more wife, we protesting. We want more wife, because this present system is what mashing up everything.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids. What's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Nothing. Because, of course, the high school kids are on summer vacation. And I'm not talking about your kids at home. I'm talking about our elected representatives of Parliament. They're officially on recess. What does that mean? It means that for the next couple of weeks, the Parliament of St. Martin is not going to function. It means that for the next couple of weeks, the Parliament of St. Martin is not going to come out with any laws. It means that in the next coming of weeks, St. Martin will not move forward because these parliamentarians are in recess, as to opposed to when they are not on recess, and a lot is being done in St. Martin. Like the Delta flight that was supposed to come, and then it didn't come, but it was a mistake. They had to retract it. Like, so much things happened in my little 3-day vacation, and it was very interesting because I said to myself, like, all of this happens when I have vacation. Like, I don't understand. Like, just 3 days in Martin. 3 days, that's it. And the amount of appointments that took place, the amount of, apologies took place, and everybody's saying, I wish the Parliament was in session so that we can hear from our public representatives about what they think about what's happening in St. Martin. And then my response to everybody is, what? If they don't say anything, when they're not in session, like when they're not in recess, why are they going to say something now? Like what's going on? Anyway, now during this summer vacation for our hard-working parliamentarians, because they work very hard, we are going to just give you some information about every MP every day until the recess is over, because we need to fill our time, and also we need to also let you know what's happening with these MPs, because election time is coming in January, as I understand. And of course, I know you want to know that the person you're going to re-elect to Parliament is working hard. Okay, So we're going to start off with Member of Parliament Hyacinth Richardson of the National Alliance. Now, we got a chance to compile everything that he has done in the past 3.5 years in Parliament as your representative, St. Martin, of part of the National Alliance. And we're going to give you that highlight right now. So let's go to the highlight. Huh? What do you mean? We don't have a video? So nothing? Nothing at all? Nul? Comma nul? Nog steeds nul? Nothing? Give me one. Okay. My producers just gave me the signal and said, because they were looking through all the archives of Parliament, trying to find out any initiative laws or any legislation that Hyacinth Richardson, our good member of Parliament, drafted for the past 3.5 years. And no? Oh, no. They didn't find any. But he was present for most of the meetings that mattered. Yes. Yes, I got it. Okay. Yes, so Brother Hyacinth Richardson was my highlight today. Of course, stick with the late night throughout the summer as we continue to bring the MP's report card to you. And then we're going to do it again and again because it's just so fun. Anyway, what else is happening on St. Martin? Same-sex marriage. Ooh. Everybody just went like, he got to talk about it. Now, of course, the Netherlands. The State Secretary of Kingdom Relations, Alexander van Heuvelen, was asked a question by the First Chamber member in the Netherlands about the implementation of same-sex marriage in St. Martin, Curaçao, and Aruba. Apparently, our Prime Minister, our hard-working Prime Minister, the Honorable Sylvia Jacobs, said that same-sex marriage does not have a place in St. Martin. And this is what she told the State Secretary. And the State Secretary told the member of the Second Chamber in the Netherlands. But she didn't tell us nothing. She didn't ask nothing. And of course, she had to go to her bosses, which is not the National Alliance Board, but I talking about actually going to the Parliament of St. Martin and at least asking for a formal position on same-sex marriage, whether we're going to allow it or not. For now, it's not allowed in St. Martin. However, we're not talking about it. Never mind that the Prime Minister of St. Martin is a very nice person. And she, So, I mean, how is it that she's going to say same-sex marriage is not allowed in St. Martin and comes back to St. Martin to a loving St. Martin people? You see what I did there? Hey, I should be a comedian. Anyway, so, yeah. Now, the church has made it very clear. Same-sex marriage does not have their blessings in St. Martin. And, of course, by law, it's not allowed. Our laws is very straightforward. A marriage is between a man and a woman. However, in our Constitution, in the Constitution, it says between a man and a woman. But the treaty that was recently signed by Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin, and the Prime Minister apparently signed it also, says completely different. So I'm confused. So I had to ask MP Claudius Boncampo to give me the lowdown. And for that, he did. Take a listen.
Again, it is something that needs to be discussed. The Prime Minister took it upon herself. The Prime Minister of St. Martin I'm talking about. I ain't addressing Aruba and Curacao. That's for them to deal with. Because both of them have been in courts. Curacao lost the case in the appellate court. So that Aruba immediately opened the door that gay couples that are married in the Netherlands can register as such in Aruba. In Curacao, that's not possible. In St. Martin, that's not possible. So the discussion was because in the Netherlands, they said, but we signed on to a treaty and so did those autonomous island countries. So in the kingdom, the law should be equal, but it is not. Van Huffelen rightfully states, listen, they're autonomous countries. If they don't live up to the treaties they signed to, and that becomes an issue down the road for the Netherlands, they will step in. Make no mistake with that. Article 43, they will step in. The same way they had to step in when things went wrong with human rights in the prison. Because at the end of the day, the European Covenant gives room for countries that do not believe in same-sex marriage. They do that. That is there. The problem is we sign on to a treaty not realizing that our Constitution is in breach with it, which means that treaty trumps our Constitution. So our Constitution can say a marriage is between a man and a woman doesn't make that law. That's the problem. That happened in Curacao already. They lost. It gone to the Supreme Court now. The judges said, listen, seeing the ticklish nature of this law, of this case, of this verdict, we will not implement the verdict. We will await the constitutional decision from the Supreme Court on this matter, which will take a few years. But that's why I brought it up 2 weeks ago. Marriage equality. Talk about it. Discuss it. See where we go as country. Wherever we go, democracy will rule. Democracy will decide. Not a handful. And definitely not just a prime minister making a call. We're not even talking to parliament. The legislators of the country. The highest legislative body of the country. You see, these are the type of things that we have to be extremely careful with in a democracy. Because before you know it, you're in a dictatorship where one person or two people or three people decide for the country when the country hasn't even given it any real thought yet.
To marry or not to marry? That is the question. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
Bearers of Broken Walls wishes to inform the public of the upcoming Global Prayer Conference, which will be held under the theme On the Walls of Society and Intercessors, with persons attending from all around the world, featuring the speakers Apostle Moses Rankin from the UK, Apostle Dr. Oral Hazel from St. Thomas, our very own Apostle Dr. Napolina Richardson. Enjoy a night of praise with Pastor Kurt Richardson. This event will be held at the Bel Air Community Center. Tickets are only $100 per person. Tickets are now available at the Family Bookstore, Radio Maranatha, your local churches and committee members. Tickets are limited, so hurry, hurry, hurry. It's time for the Global Prayer Conference in July.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.